Hi everyone, today we are going to talk about the Tarsar Marsar trek. Tarsar and Marsar, these are two beautiful and pristine lakes on top of the Kashmir valley. These are situated around 12,500 feet above the sea level. The base camp for this trek is from Aru Valley. In this video mainly we will talk about the different type of terrains we're going to encounter, different views you'll get, and all the obstacles that you'll have to be prepared for. So hope you enjoy this video and all the best. Day 1 of the trek starts by checking into the base camp. This is where you'll have a shared accommodation. The photo that you see is what we got. It's an accommodation which has to be shared by 3 people. Once you have checked in, you'll have to move to the lawn where all your paperwork will be collected. And one of the important things that happens throughout the trek is your oxygen level is going to be checked before and after the trek starts. And this is the briefing room. This is where you'll be briefed about the trek and every single question you have will be answered in Day 2 starts with a steep climb on the mountain that is on the left side. As you start climbing, the first thing that you are greeted by is this beautiful home. This was where the movie Bajrangi Bhaijaan was shot. And then you start your trek across the meadows. Now this is where you can hear the crickets. This is where the forest starts. Once you clear the meadows, you're gonna reach this dhaba, and this is where you can have a little bit of chai or kawa. I would recommend all of you try kawa, or you can even try Maggi. Now this is exactly the time when we started seeing the clouds come in, and you can even see the rain in this video. And now it started raining very heavily. And the problem with the rain is that the mud is a little bit ishy, so you start slipping a little bit. But if you have trekking pole and you have good stability, you can maintain your trek even in the rain. This should not be a problem. Now this is a tricky place because of the rain. It has made the ground slippery, and this is a steep descent here. Now we reach our first campsite, Lidewar. Lidewar is completely surrounded by walls on all the sides, and it has beautiful grass all across, and this was the only place where we could find a flat ground. Now day starts with a steep ascent right behind the campsite on a very bright sunny day. This is a steep ascent, and if it's happening in a sunny day, make sure that you put plenty of sunscreen, because at high altitudes the atmosphere doesn't filter a lot of ultraviolet rays, so you have to put sunscreen on all places wherever it is exposed by sun. Now we come to a river crossing. Now river crossing can be a little bit tricky, but if you follow the right technique, you'll be fine. Here you can see the water is flowing and it's very, very clear water. We formed a human chain and we face the current, and you have to slowly step sideways the way people are doing here. Now an important thing I would recommend during a river crossing is to make sure that you are wearing slippers or Crocs. These rocks are very slippery, so the trick to crossing the river is to make sure that you don't take very large steps. Just take small steps and face the current, and you're gonna cross the river in no time. The water is gonna be cold, so be prepared to dip your feet in that cold water. We were lucky because we got invited to visit one of the locals' home on the mountains. What you see here on the right side is the place where the animals live, and left side is where the humans live, and in the center you have some kind of storage. You can see it's a very simple setup. There is a kitchen, there is a bedroom, and this is how the people live. And this was a family of around 5 to 6 kids, and I saw at least 3-4 adults living in this house. Now finally we could see our campsite for this night. This was a long trek, but this campsite is at a beautiful place. It's called Sheikwas. Now Sheikwas is at the intersection of 3 beautiful valleys, and there's this stream of water that's flowing through. You'll see a bit of wildlife. We saw some shepherd dogs. We saw this buffalo that was charging at us. It was not very happy with our presence. Now day 3 starts with a little bit of warm-up. Now doing a warm-up is important before and after the trek because it's a cold place, and not doing the warm-up can lead to a little bit of cramps during the night. And during the trek you'll find these beautiful views, so enjoy these. During our ascent on this day, we noticed a place where some of the shepherds were rearing the sheep. Now this is a procedure that happens 3 times a year, and it's important to cut the hair from the sheep, and this is what is used for making wool. You can see that this is a very, very gentle process. As we were going through these beautiful valleys, we finally got the view of Tarsar Lake. This is where we set up our base camp, and because we finished our hike a little early, we got to help the staff to set up the tents. Day 4 started with brilliant color from the sun. We could see so many spectrum of colors that we couldn't resist taking more and more photos. Now on this day we had to cross the Tarsar Pass, but we had a problem because there were clouds coming in from the direction and we could not see the Tarsar Pass. But we continued our climb. On this day we had to start the steep climb up the Tarsar Pass. We found a few shepherds who were raising their sheep and we started our climb. As you climb higher and higher, you get prettier and prettier photos of Tarsar Lake. On top of the Tarsar Pass, you are above 4 kilometers above the sea level, which is about 13,000 feet. And this is where you get the best view of the Tarsar Lake. And you could also see some ice on other mountains. Once we complete some photos, then we had to descend down the other side of the Tarsar Pass. Now this is where you have some loose gravel and little bit slippery mud. We were so thankful that it did not rain this day. But going down this pass was not easy. You just have to keep your steps small and slowly climb down and you'll be fine. Don't rush down in a hurry. Now once we reached the bottom, we saw a lot of flowers all around the valley. We could see different colors of the flowers. And this is where on this day it was the longest hike because we had to stop at the base camp, keep our bags, take our lunch, head on top to the Marsar Pass. We had a long trek and there was very tricky boulder sections and we finally reached a secret lake between Tarsar and Marsar. This is called the Tarsar Lake. Now this is much smaller lake, but it has a very pretty view. And right behind this photo is where you can see the Marsar Pass is there. That's where we have to climb up. When you start your climb up to the Marsar Pass, you'll face a few boulders and loose gravel again. We also saw a little bit of ice sheet. On top of the Marsar Pass, it gets a little bit chilly, so you might have to put on a wind cheater or a jacket. Could see the Marsar Lake, and this is the first view of the Marsar Lake. I found that the Marsar Lake was way more prettier than Tarsar Lake. As soon as I reached here, the whole team was there, but nobody was saying a single word. It was a magical feeling, and you couldn't take your eyes off this lake. It was a very, very pretty sight. Now this was the day where we hiked starting 8 am and we finished our hike at 4:30 pm. This was because there were a lot of ascents and descents and boulder crossings on this day, and this was the most tiring day of all the days on the trek. But in the night we were greeted with beautiful black sky. The day 5 started with a very cloudy morning. It was a very light drizzle at the beginning, so we got our ponchos and rain jackets on. But by the time we started the trek, about 20% done, the rain started coming pretty heavy. The tricky part was that we had to cross a lot of boulder sections in this rain. Now boulder sections get very slippery, so you have to be very careful where you place your legs and make sure that you have the balance right. So the trick is to do it slow, do it steady, and if possible you can also make use of the hiking poles, but a lot of people prefer not to use hiking poles on the boulders. So see what suits you. Once we crossed the Rocky Mountains and the boulders, we came across beautiful meadows. And that's when the view got a lot more serene. The trek of day 5 ended as we reached base camp of Lidewat. Now because our tents and sleeping bags were wet, we had to sleep in government provided guest houses. The trek on day 6 started in a very cloudy morning, but luckily it was not raining. We had to cross this bridge, which was fun. Once we crossed the bridge, then it was just a leisure walk down to Aru Valley. Now this is going to be a simple walk, you don't have to struggle too much, but the pain point would be that you'll have blisters and you'll have leg pain. So you'll have to bear through all of that to reach the base camp. So that was about Tarsar Marsar. I hope you all enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed talking about it. All the best and prepare well. Thank you.